Peace and harmony, my rosebuds. Today I want to talk to you about healing and trusting your body. Ooh, 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 I'm so excited. So I'm making this video because I have been feeling some pain in my stomach, and I had noticed that I had a knot there. And to me, that came up as a blockage. So I had to sit with myself in stillness and figure out, okay, why is this knot there? So I decided to do a full body scan. And I showed in one of my videos how to do a full body scan. And I want you to notice something when you are doing full body scans. If you notice, because I went to my heart chakra, the two chakras that I felt like it was somewhere, I knew something was going on up in here. So I went to my heart chakra and I noticed I was in a more rhythmic breathing pattern. So that lets me know, that was a clear indication that I'm pretty much in alignment here. Just continue to maintain the work that I was doing for my heart chakra, just continue to do it, and even go as far as to doing self-care regimens to help enhance it and keep it in motion, maintaining it better. So as I went down to my solar plexus, my breathing pattern immediately changed, and it went to more shallow breaths. And that was a cause of concern to me. So I'm like, okay, here. And I started to squeeze it a little more so I can feel directly where this pain is stemming from. And for me, recently, I was battling some things financially. Like, it was just bringing me anxiety. Even though I know it's going to be taken care of, it's still just being in the present moment and just knowing that, okay, I got myself in a little pickle. I know it's going to be taken care of, but it does not defeat the fact that I still feel this anxiety. And this was creating stagnicity in my approach towards it as well. And it lets me know that I needed to do some clearing here. So the reason that I squeeze the pain is because I want to allow it to come up fully. It's like the more I squeeze the pain, the more it's like tell me more. What's wrong? But that's just for me. If it hurt, don't do it. But for me, I want to see where this is coming from, like the root cause of it. Cause I eat healthy for the most facts, and it's also letting me know that even if I do eat healthy, it's still an internal thing, you know? So the more anxiety I had towards this situation, instead of me breathing, like my regular breathing pattern, I was more so at a halt. I was creating tension here. And the longer I kept this tension, the more it would be painful. So when I acknowledged what I was feeling, I was able to do, for one, I did two things. I took some castor oil. And if you don't know anything about castor oil helps break down any knots that are in the body, especially if you have like fibroids. You can do like castor oil packs. It's good for breaking down calcification in the body, buildup of any of that sort in the body. So what I did was I took the castor oil and I put it on the area where I was feeling this knot, and oh, it feels so good. It was painful at first, but it eventually got better. And so what I did was I exhaled it out and I rubbed. I got deep in that guy. I rubbed it and it was hurting, but it felt so good at the same time. And then I inhaled it up. I let it sit. And then I exhale. And I repeated that 3 times. And it brought me to ease. I noticed that the pain that I was feeling in my stomach and in my side began to disappear. And it brought me clarity too. of what I was feeling, and I was able to reassure myself that everything is going to be okay and it has been taken care of. The reason that so many people feel so much pain in their shoulders, and you can also make a warming oil by taking castor oil, maybe sprinkling some cayenne pepper. You can do essential oils too, ginger, clove, and those are warm. They're going to warm up, and you can apply them to the muscle, and it's going to bring relief. And you want to do that 2 or 3 times, no more than that, 2 or 3 times throughout the day, and as needed. But when we have pain in our body, especially knots, it's a clear indication that it is an internal issue, depending on your eating habits. you know, but for the most part, it's just us tensing up, being in a fight or flight situation, having that, and being tense, being tight, being uncomfortable. If you're like tense all the time, for one, it's stopping your blood flow. Your blood is not able to circulate the way that it needs to, so that it goes to each organ properly, to and throughout each cell properly. And so you're going to create pain in the body. And it doesn't matter where. You can have pain in your shoulders, your throat. You can start to get like a sore throat. It can look like that. Headaches, belly aches, chest pain. It can manifest as womb problems, okay, back problems, knee problems, hip problems, pain in the body. And that's it's kind of like a beautiful thing though, because it's telling you that, okay, I need to reset. I need to rest. And in the midst of you resting, you're actually doing the work. I love when my body tells me that something is wrong, because that tells me I've been neglecting certain things. And this is also how you build trust within self. This is how you build your trust issues. A lot of people have trust issues because they don't trust their body, they don't trust the decisions that they're making. And a lot of times when people say they have trust issues, they correlate it to what someone has did to them to make them have trust issues. You cheated on me, now I can't trust nobody. But to take accountability, it's like, okay, there were signs that you were doing things, and I was allowing that to happen and be in my presence. I was allowing you to do what you wanted to do, even though I had boundaries. But when we love people, we tend to remove those boundaries. We tend to let them get away with a lot of things that we know that we are not okay with. And then when they do us wrong, we deem it as trust issues. I can't trust you no more. I can't trust nobody. I can't trust people. What you're really saying is I don't make the best decisions, so I don't trust myself to deal with you. That's really what that is saying. That's literally putting a guard up. And that's stopping you from growing. That's stopping you from trusting your body to trust you. The best way that I was able to build trust was listening to my body and what I was feeling, and not questioning it. Literally. Just like I was telling you, if I was feeling pain in my body and I was sitting with myself and a situation was coming up, or I was feeling like I was lacking in that area, baby, when I tell you I started doing the work, like I started journaling, whether it was crying, I started doing breath work. I started centering myself. I started improving in the areas that I was lacking, that I felt that was coming up for me. I started doing work in those areas to improve myself. And when I tell you, I trust myself fully in what I feel now. Because if it wasn't for me acknowledging the pain that I was feeling, I wouldn't be able to improve in those areas. And it's also coming to the realization that a lot of times we create trust issues from being attached. When I detach myself from certain thought processes, certain perspectives, man, the growth was, I'm trying to tell you from experience, okay? So if you have trust issues, learn to sit with yourself and trust what you are feeling. Trust what God is telling you. Trust what is happening to your body, and trust that everything will be okay, because you're going to do the things that your body is telling you that it needs. That's how you build trust within your body. And the more that you build trust with your body by listening to what it needs, the better you're able to improve on what is you and what is not. Do I need to say that again? The more you sit with yourself, the more you trust what you are feeling and you acknowledge it, the better you become with trust. We mess up when we put trust into other people and they don't do the things that we want them to do. We sit here and we put all the responsibility on that person, knowing good and well that that person's going to do what they want. And when they don't do what we want them to do, we go to, I can't trust you. When this person already done shows you ample amount of times that you can't trust them. But because you love that person, you put your boundaries down and you let them get away with it. So now it's kind of like, what am I doing? Accountability is like the best thing that you could possibly do for yourself. Like I feel like I take accountability for a lot of things that I've allowed into my life. And even with me acknowledging those things, I feel like it has helped me to better create a relationship with myself and trust in myself, because it's like, okay, I did that before, girl. We got to sit down and figure it out. We got to sit down and figure it out. So, if you want to build trust with yourself, it really takes you sitting with yourself and acknowledging why you have trust issues in the first place. And when you want to take accountability, it all correlates to you allowing people to overstep the boundaries that you already created for yourself. So you weren't standing on business with your boundaries. And the moment that we let people overstep those boundaries is where we become uncertain. We start to question ourselves in the process, because we knew when we set those boundaries that we did not like that, but because I loved you and I was with you and I trusted you to not do away with my boundaries, even though I let you cross my boundaries. And see, when you let a person cross your boundaries and they know that you let them, they're going to continue to see what they can get away with. So you gotta stand on your boundaries. You gotta stand on your ground. It's not even necessarily for them, but it's for you. If you want to improve on your trust issues, sit with yourself in stillness and trust what you feel, and don't go for anybody else for that validation on what you feel and what you believe. Trust has everything to do with your belief of self. I hope that helped and resonated. Let me know in the comment section what you feel.